So the doorknob to the closet we record in doesn't really work properly, and I'm not sure if it locks from the inside or the outside. The closet door in our old room had the same problem, and I got stuck in it once when I was like 7 while our aunt was watching us. So the only way to open it was from the inside, but like I was too weak to turn the knob. So when lunchtime came around, I remember Sophia coming over and laughing that I could only eat flat food for the rest of my life because anything taller than the gap underneath the door wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
Our dad eventually figured out how to open the door with a knife, and that has led to countless pranks we played on our siblings who get stuck in the closet.
I think it's we've like pried it open so much that it just stayed, like, the little thingy.
Yeah.
Stayed inside the doorknob thing.
Welcome to Rocket to Anywhere, the show whose hosts skim over cooking instructions so much that they didn't know the difference between convectional and conventional ovens until a couple of years ago. I'm Corban.
I'm Sofia.
And I'm Ethan.
Whoa, he caught on really quick, unlike me.
That's right, listeners. 54 episodes in, Sophia still doesn't remember to say her name. But no, the other thing I was originally going to say, we are joined this week by a special guest, and that is our cousin, Ethan, who's here on vacation. Say hello.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you for having me here.
It's great to have you. So today on the show, we'll be doing a hodgepodge of things, from our normal stuff like Word of the Week and Joke Time to answering questions like, is it okay to get into other people's conversations in public? And a story from Sophia about the first time we ever went to an ice cream shop, and finally, how we smuggle food into movie theaters.
Oh, yes.
It's a very special way.
You better hope that no movie employees are listening to this right now.
Yeah.
Funny story about that, I knew a person, she went to the Dr. Pepper Stadium, and she had a can of Dr. Pepper with her, and they told her she had to throw it away. And she's like, this is the Dr. Pepper Stadium. I should be allowed to bring Dr. Pepper in. But anyway. Okay, let's get started with follow-up. Got a couple pieces today. First of all, we'd like to say congratulations to Ryan Matlock, host of our semi-rival podcast, The Aux Cable, and his now wife, Hannah, on their recent marriage. Just congratulations to them. If you missed it, their wedding was live on Ryan's YouTube channel, and we'll leave a link in the show notes at rtk.space/54. Now, an update on a couple of weeks ago, Sophia created the word can't. Remember that? Can you tell everyone what it meant?
Oh, yes. So it's like can't and won't. Can't.
Yeah,
Get
can't
out,
do
can't.
that.
Yeah.
It's more Southern than Texan because...
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's that. Well, here's an update I got. If you and... well, no, it's a new word. I'm going to add on
Are you
to
going to credit me for sending it to you?
Credit what?
That.
This update? I thought I saw it on Instagram.
Yes,
think
I
I saw
sent
on
it to you on Instagram.
So if you and all equal y'all, are and not equals ain't,
For Texans. And stuff.
then y'all ain't should be yanked.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yanked gonna do that.
No.
That makes so much sense now.
It's like, yanked gonna jump off the bridge.
You ain't and can't do it. Get it?
Yeah, you yanked and can't jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, you can, but
number 3.
don't make it back up.
We finally watched Paddington 2, and I thought I'd pull out this fact since we were going to say it on the review that was supposed to happen in January that we just never did. So Paddington's real name is Pastuso. Pastuso. Pastuso.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
No,
That movie
that's
was a
his-
great movie.
That's his,
Okay, he
that's
was
his
named after his
dad
uncle.
slash uncle slash grandpa, whatever it is.
Yeah, but he was named
Name.
after his uncle. His adopted family couldn't
Oh.
pronounce it for some reason. I guess British people can't say
No, they
Pastuso.
said Paddington because he was found in Paddington
Yeah,
Station.
because he was found in Paddington Station.
It's because the way he says it in the bear language or whatever, it doesn't sound like Pastuso.
Yeah.
Oh.
And, I mean, this is what I got off
What
the...
do you prefer, the Paddington 1 or 2?
I liked 1.
Yeah, 1 was more adventurous. 2 was like,
I like 2
Love.
better, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah, 2
sometimes
has
I mean, it was
better...
like
animated better.
sequels
It has-
better than the actual movie themselves. It's really weird.
Well, yeah, Paddington 2 has, like, the highest movie rating of all time or something like that. Like,
That's
people
what
really
every
liked it.
movie says.
Yeah, but like they actually got it. Like they were up there. I don't know. My friend who's a movie critic, Houston, shout out to Houston and his podcast, Blockbusted. He said it was like really good, and he never likes movies, which is weird. I mean,
It's his job
Not
like
never,
movies.
but
not to like movies.
okay. Last piece of follow up. Amazon just wanted to have us let you guys know that there's a new season of Tumbleleaf out now on Prime, season 4, I believe. So if you're interested in that show, go check it out. Now streaming on Prime Video. There'll be a link in the show notes again. So now on to thought of the week. Ethan, since you're our guest, why don't you get us started?
I don't know if you already said this, but why is bologna spelled Bolanga? That was just a random thought. I didn't think this through. So.
I always pronounce it Bologna.
Yeah,
It's Bologna.
Wait,
that's just the
What?
English language for you.
It's confusing. When I hear that, I think of the Car Talk guys sing. I don't know. I'm not good at my Boston accent. I'm like, what do you have, Sophia?
we didn't know. Okay, so our cousins are here, right? Ethan's here, obviously. Ethan. There you go. You never realize how messy your house is until someone decides to drop in unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Ethan.
The other day when I have no idea how they are related to us. It's a common occurrence. Showed up and I'm just frantically running around with a vacuum cleaner and a bucket of toys.
I know, right?
Okay.
I wasn't even here. I was at Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's my thought of the week. I wonder how many pictures you, I, and everyone are in that were taken by random people, just like who are tourists or on vacation. We're just taking pictures and we just end up in the background of their pictures.
I know. I always think about that. That's why I make it count.
Especially living here in Dallas.
Weirdos.
Hey, you wouldn't know. You live in some tiny town.
Okay. We have
Our town, you can cross it in 2 minutes. Yay. That's you. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, we have we're part of the world's largest migration for butterflies and birds.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say people. I was
Right now, there's a bunch of butterflies over there, everywhere. Thousands of them and thousands. I almost thought it was ash raining, but it was just butterflies.
Speaking of that, I remember stopping at a place called Bee City or something like that on the way to visit you once.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a town full of bees, just literally bees everywhere. That was the scariest place I've ever been. People just walk around like it's normal.
Wow.
Next up, learn a word. This week's word is occlude. 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 It means to stop, close up, or obstruct. Example, for Sophia here. A blood clot has occluded the artery. Don't ask me why that relates to Sophia. She doesn't have a occluded artery, but she claims to have a blood clot.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone always gets a blood clot because that's what a scab is.
Yep, I'm picking at one right now.
Yeah.
It comes from the Latin word the Latin word occludere, meaning shut up. Okay, so you got another word there. Well, now it's the time of the show that everyone looks forward to or everyone hates. You're either on one side or the other of this camp, and that is joke time. So, who wants to start?
Mwah.
Get started then.
My dog used to chase people on a bike a lot. It got so bad, finally I had to take his bike away.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get
True
it.
story.
Is this one of those Tumblr people who post these things in comment sections?
Who even uses Tumblr? It's only YouTubers and stuff.
People who have too much time on their hands.
You were going to say no life, but then you're like, too much time.
Too much time on their hands and are part of very specific groups of people. Cough, cough, you know who you are.
True story about that doggo.
Knock, knock.
Who is there?
Ni.
Oh, ni who?
No, it's ni hao.
Bye.
Do you ni how to do a joke?
Get it? Ni hao, ni hao. I made this joke up last week while we were recording, and I didn't say it. I was going to say it for this week.
How nice.
How nice. Do you have one, Ethan?
I dreamed I was forced to eat a giant marshmallow. When I woke up, my pillow was gone.
The way you read it.
My pillow was gone.
My pillow was gone.
Okay.
It's all in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. So a patient says to a doctor, Help me, please. Every time I drink a cup of coffee, I get this intense stinging in my eye.
Was that Odd Squad?
No. And the doctor said, can I suggest that you remove the spoon before you drink it?
It feels like something Odd Squad would be called for. And they'd be like, sorry, that's not odd enough for us.
Yeah.
What does a billionaire say when they feel terrible?
I wish I was a millionaire instead of a billionaire.
No, they say, I feel like $1 million.
Hey, I was close.
When I see two people's names carved in a tree, I don't think it's nice and sweet. I just think it's surprising how many people bring a knife on a date to carve their names with.
Now, that is interesting.
That would be funny if it was R and P.
Okay. Well, that's it for joke time. Let's go on to our topic time. So, like we said earlier, we have a hodgepodge of little things here and there because we're saving up our big ones for a couple upcoming weeks. I wanted to empty these out of the proverbial docket. No, not the proverbial freezer. So, first one, when is it okay, or is it okay, to get into other people's conversations in public? And, on that note, what is a weird conversation you've ever heard, like overheard, when you're in public?
Oh, it happened this Sunday.
Okay. What?
So, I was teaching my friend sound, which is like, soundboard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was teaching him, and we were in the gym, and which is where the venue is for our church.
It gets more and more confusing.
Yeah.
So we're teaching someone sound in a gym.
With a Digico SD9 on a sound booth.
Yes, a Digico SD9 in a gym.
Yes. Okay, it's just...
That they use as an auditorium.
Yes. It has curtains and a stage, and they bring the stage in.
Etc., etc.
For those of you who aren't sound-minded and you don't know, a Digico SD9 is an extremely expensive state-of-the-art audio console, which is placed in a gym. Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway, so, let me go on. I was teaching him, and we have maintenance people, and they all speak Spanish. Like, they understand a little bit of English, but they don't understand that much, and they don't usually talk English. So, like, whenever they see someone who they think knows Spanish, they'll talk in Spanish instead of English. And so they were talking to each other in Spanish while they were cleaning up the chairs from the gym because, they can't just leave them in there because we use the gym for other things. So they were stacking them up and putting them away. And two of them, the ladies, were talking about how they killed something and put it in some bag, and then they were taking it somewhere. And I was in the middle of teaching sound, and I was like, hold on, I just need to stop for a second. And I was like talking, and they just kept getting me, and I was like, I'm just going to stop for a second and listen, and then we can go on. So, yeah. Anyway, they never finished because then they realized that I knew Spanish, and then they just left. So, yeah.
They just fled.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, they just looked at me, and then they told the other guy who's picking up the stage, they told him that they were going to go somewhere, and then they went.
Oh, that's even more creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard
Never trust maintenance/janitor people.
Very, very, very suspicious. Even though I looked very suspicious on Sunday. I was carrying around that, briefcase, really big one. It looked like a bomb case or something.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever overheard anything, Ethan?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, not that I can remember.
The most recent thing I've overheard that was interesting or weird was that we were at a Golden Corral, and I was eating lunch, and I came back to sit down, and there's this table of a big family, and they were all really quiet, and then this little girl goes up to this guy, it was her dad, and she's like, Daddy, have you ever been in a secret organization? And he's like, he turns, and really honestly, he's like, yes, in 2. And she's like, which ones? And I walked out because oh no, I don't want to be here. The other thing was, I thought this was funny. I was in an elevator with this husband and wife, and the wife was on Pinterest or something looking at designs.
I remember this.
Yeah, designs for bedside tables. And he's like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And the husband's like, you know what? I don't remember what the wife said. Was, you know what? We're not going to redesign the bedroom for the 20th time, okay? The bedside table you have is the one we're going to keep. Anyway.
Designing interior spaces is just so complicated. Like,
I know.
we were building our house, and we went to the paint store like 15 times in 1 month.
I know. It's like,
Just for one
It's like every wall has
One
to be a separate color.
shade of paint, 1 or 2 shades of paint. And it's like, why does it have to be so perfect? It's like,
this is robin's egg white. This is eggshell white.
I
This
know,
is
right?
sun white. This is nail white. Oh, I remember watching this episode of a TV show, and the lady's like, okay, I want you to tell me the difference between all these different shades of paint. He's like, obvious. And he lists out all the different shades of white. And she's like, okay, great, but now let's see the actual paint side, because they were upside down, and you were just seeing the back of the card. And he thought there was like 5 different shades of white, but it was just the back of the card. Okay. So now, Sophia, I'd like you to tell a story that's been on our list since like episode 4, where you'll talk about first time we ever went to an ice cream shop, specifically Baskin Robbins.
Yes.
oh, that is, I recommend that. That's not my recommendation of the week or whatever, but it's really good.
We went to Baskin Robbins. I was like 4. I was 4, yeah, because I was in kindergarten. Yeah.
No, you can be 5 in kindergarten.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So.
I'm an exception to the rules.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was 4, and he was 6, and I went to.
I don't think I was 6.
Yeah,
I was
you
in
were.
first grade.
You were in Miss Bates' class.
Oh.
Yeah, 6. Okay, so, we went to Baskin Robbins. It was like a minute away from our school, and so it was like down the road. So we went, and I had always gotten the ice cream in the bowl, and Corban sometimes he got it in the bowl, and sometimes he got it in the waffle cone. I don't know which one is which. Which one's the sugar cone? Which one's the waffle cone?
The sugar cone is the small, like, perfect cylinder one, and the waffle cone's the big ones.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The waffle, I hate the cylinder ones. They're just disgusting. And so I was like, can I have the waffle one? Can I have ice cream in the waffle one? And my mom said, are you sure you're going to be able to eat it and not drop it or anything? And I said, no. And
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I said,
Smart
no, I won't
answer.
drop it.
Smart answer.
I said, no, I won't drop it. And so the man served Corban, and they served me. And then he handed it to me, and the first thing, and I just licked it, and the whole thing just fell off and onto the floor.
Just like a cartoon would. I just
Yeah,
literally
like
ball
exactly,
falls off.
exactly like that. It was funny. Anyway, and then so then my mom told me, okay, we can just get another one. So I got another one, and it happened again. And then she started getting mad.
Gosh.
She said, okay, we're only gonna get it one more time. And
This
and then,
time she gets it with a little pink spoon.
yes. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lick it. I'm just gonna, scoop it up with a spoon. And then it falls off again. And then she said, okay, you're just gonna get in the bowl this time. So I got it in the bowl, and then I ate it that time.
Yeah, but you did drop the ball on your way out. But
Yeah,
it landed
I
right side up.
I dropped the bowl.
Yeah.
But the ice cream. was
Butterfingers.
I think she got Butterfinger ice cream. Did you get Butterfinger ice cream?
fine. No, I got the rainbow one.
That would have been ironic.
I know, right?
Okay, speaking of food, let's get our last one here. How we smuggle food into movie theaters.
Okay, if you go at Christmas time, get those big jackets that have a bunch of pockets inside,
Oh.
and just stuff it in, and then it just looks like a puffed up jacket, but it's not just puffed up. It's like puffed up with popcorn and stuff.
It's like those people with the trench coats, and they open
Yeah.
up like the thing, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Hey, looky here! I got all these different chips."
yeah.
It's like,
So
do you want barbecue, sour cream and onion, or original?
We're like a baseball stand vendors walking through the movie theater aisles up and down.
yeah,
Popcorn, get your overridden Butters popcorn that I popped at home and brought here in my jacket.
yeah. And then if it's not during like any time where you can bring a jacket or a hoodie or anything, still wear a hoodie, because like you can wear a hoodie year round. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's style or something.
Not
See-
because of style, because you can hide food in it.
Well, okay, so like last month we went to go see the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and I wore a hoodie, and I put all my snacks in the hoodie pocket, and I put my hands in the hoodie pocket, and nobody noticed.
Well, I brought my jacket thing, and I basically put all my snacks into a gallon-sized plastic bag.
Yeah, he
That-
didn't wear his jacket. He just drooped it over the bag, and then like over his
Yeah,
arm.
I stuck the bag in my hood, and then I wrapped the hood under, so it looked like it was like fabric that was holding up there,
Yeah.
and then I just held it on my arm. You couldn't tell. Although we were at a studio movie grill, and the person who was sitting next to me called the waiter, and I had my jacket in the bag of food just open
I
on the
know.
chair next to me.
I know.
And the waiter was coming and saw it on their way up the stairs. And I was like, we made eye contact. And like when she walked by, I covered it up with the jacket. When she came back down, she didn't see it there. And I was just staring at the movie the whole time, like, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I'm telling you, those prices at the movie theaters are getting really expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
Like, even with those tickets they give for the students, like, there's an Instagram thing where you can,
I
for
have
$5, get a Slurpee, right? Is it a Slurpee or what?
Icy.
Icy. Yeah, there we go.
The icy and a popcorn for $5.
Yeah, even though I don't like.
They
both of
just
those
make the
things.
popcorn really, really salty, so you just have to buy a drink.
Yeah. It's
I don't like
expensive.
popcorn in general,
Hmm.
or ices, because I hate carbonation.
Mm-hmm. You hate Corban.
Whatever.
I have one more topic that
What?
embarrassing things that you said that you didn't know exactly what it meant. Like, you wanted to say something, but you didn't know the exact word for it. So, like, for example, like a bed sheet, and you didn't know how to call it, and you just call it something else. For example.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So we were fundraising for my football team. We were selling beanies. If you can tell where this is going, you're correct. I accidentally said, well, I didn't accidentally say it. I didn't know the word. I accidentally said bikini instead of beanie. And yeah, I was the laughing stock of the whole day.
I call beanies toques. I call
On
them toques.
purpose. He knows they're called beanies. He just
Yeah.
calls them like that.
I call them toques because
Any embarrassing things you said?
it's a Canadian thing. I mean, I've said tons of embarrassing things that I'm sure are all over this podcast if you go back and listen to old episodes.
Well, here's the thing. It happens all the time, but I don't understand why it's funny. Because I don't get it. You know?
I mean, we did last week
I
on the
don't
show. We
understand.
talked about awkward moments, and we went through a bunch of our most recent awkward moments.
I don't have awkward moments. It's just like I say stuff and I don't.
I don't have awkward moments.
Yeah.
It's like saying the Earth is flat,
No, I
Yeah.
don't, because it's not awkward for me. It's awkward for the other person.
but it's awkward both ways. This is
No,
like
it's
okay.
not, because I don't feel awkward.
I was standing at the elevator, like I said last week on the show. I was standing at the elevator, and me and this kind of famous guy were both on our phones, and I'm holding a timpani for some reason. I'm carrying a timpani around. I'm not carrying it. It's just I'm rolling it around.
By the way, for people who don't know what a timpani is, it's a kind of drum used in
Yeah.
percussion.
Yeah.
Really big drum. Yeah. And we're both standing at the elevator for like a good 10 minutes until we both realized at the same time none of us have pushed the call elevator button. And we have been standing here for a good 5 or 10 minutes. So slowly, we're just like made eye contact. And I'm like, who's going to push the button? I'm not going to push the button. Are you going to push the button? I'm not going to push the button. Ended up going at the same time to push the button, but someone had brought the elevator up already. Anyway, it's kind of awkward. I have so many awkward elevator stories. It's just a thing.
You, Sophia?
Like I said, I have no idea why it's funny, because I don't understand. So yeah,
I don't know.
oh nice.
If you want to hear awkward moments I got from Sophia, listen to last week's episode. I don't remember what they were because we recorded that like a month ago,
Yeah, I don't remember.
but I said something. I don't remember what it was. Okay, so let's move on to our recommendations of the week. Who wants to get started?
I will.
Okay.
I know this isn't really like a local or like in-country recommendation, but if you ever are thinking about going on vacation, like if you're thinking something tropical and not like super, super busy, like for example, like Jamaica and all those other famous islands and Hawaii, there's an island that we went to for my grandparents' anniversary because they have family there and they used to live there. Barbados. It's the only island in the Caribbean islands that is not formed by a volcano.
I was listening to a podcast kind of about that on the way home yesterday from Planet Money. I've talked about them tons of times. It's an economics show. But they were talking about the economics of sand. This is kind of related to it, and how white sand in the like Bahamas and those Caribbean islands is like really popular. And people are going and like stealing sand. Like literally, they were talking about this case in 2008 where a bunch of dump trucks just ended up on the beach in the middle of the night, stole huge just troughs full of sand, and then they sell it to resorts who just like have normal brown sand, and they sell this white sand to them so that they can cover their beaches in white sand. And it's like a huge deal.
And white sand is not hot.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., it's normally like brown sand, and it's really, really hot. White sand, it's not hot.
Yeah, in Alabama, it wasn't hot. Like, if you were walking around, yeah, it was a little bit warm, but it's not.
Yeah, and what they were saying is like places like Singapore, I think what they were saying, are buying sand from other countries, and they're literally dumping it on their seashores to expand the size of their land. Like I think they said over past 15 years they've grown 20%. Like literally size of the country has grown by 20%.
Oh, wow.
Because they dump sand on the seashores and then they build buildings on top of them. But the thing is, you have to think about it the other way. Wait, where are they buying that sand from? You look at the other countries they're buying it from, they've shrunk 20% because they've been literally selling off their land to Singapore. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. If you want to hear that show, it's in the show notes. You can get a link to it. I don't remember what it was called, but it'll be there.
I've always thought this. So, if there's sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is the sand just floating on top of water, or is it sand all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, just like stacked up?
It's all the way to the bottom of the ocean. It's all on the floor of the ocean.
So you can't like swim under the island?
No, you can't.
Yeah, because like we saw that Schoolhouse Rock video when we were younger, like with America, and it's like so an island isn't really floating; it's like attached to the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
That's how I find it confusing.
It's not like it's floating. It's just it's a piece of land that's surrounded by water that's filled up.
Yeah, I've always found that interesting and confusing at the same time. So I guess that's how hurricanes can wipe out islands or something like that.
Well, it's not wipe out; it's just devastate.
Yeah.
Because islands are not really big.
I don't understand.
Okay, yeah. Let's keep going.
Okay, Sophia, what's your recommendation of the week?
Don't eat salt.
Well, you need salt to stay alive.
No, don't eat salt that doesn't need to be eaten.
But aren't you the salt of the earth?
Yes, but not literal salt, honey.
You need
What
salt.
you're saying is don't eat too much salt.
Don't eat any that you don't need to eat. Like if it's...
But salty tortilla chips from Costco taste really good.
No, they're not. They're disgusting.
No, they're very good.
Salty,
Okay, next recommendation.
Salty fries, salty burgers, salty chips, salty drinks, salty
Okay.
Salty
candy.
drinks.
Yeah, there's salty drinks.
My salt. I want my salts of the week. My recommendation of the week is a movie I saw a while back in a hospital. Don't you just love watching movies in hospitals? And it always turns out the movie you watch in the hospital, the person who's in the movie, the plot twist is always that they end up in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It's very confusing. Anyway, the movie I was
Called
watching.
encouraging.
Yes. Actually, I shouldn't have said that because now I spoiled the movie, what the plot twist is. But whatever. Okay. So the movie is called Little Secrets. It's about this kid named Emily, who is like a violin player. And basically, she has this little booth in her yard where people from around the neighborhood come up and tell her their secrets, basically to get it off their chest, off their backs. And basically, it's this whole story, a bunch of different twists and turns. I think it's a good movie. It was a small budget, but it was shot really nicely, except for the opening scene in Act 1 where they do the speed up with the jib. I was like, no, please, no. That doesn't look good. I can clearly tell you have a jib on the back of a pickup truck that you're driving around this neighborhood to get these shots.
A jib is a camera on like a long arm.
Yeah. Anyway, it's an interesting movie. I think it was pretty good. You should check it out if you want to. It's at Hoopla. I'm not sure where else they have it. Hoopla Digital is like an online streaming service that some libraries have, or most libraries have.
It could possibly also be on Amazon Prime Video.
Wherever it is, I'll leave a link on our website in the show notes at rtu.space/54. And speaking of that, thank you for listening this week. If this was your first time listening to the show, please subscribe on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. We're new there. They switched over. Or you can listen on Spotify or anywhere else podcasts are available. We're literally everywhere. iHeartRadio, Tesla, Podcast Store, TuneIn, everywhere. So links to all of our locations where you can listen are available at rta.space/listen. If you have any suggestions for us, you want to send us some jokes to tell, or you just have anything you want to talk about, you can email us rocket2anywhereshow@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at RTA Show on Twitter. We're also on Instagram at rocket2anywhere. Also, don't get us confused with Rocket to Anywhere, the band. I know we have to keep saying this, but we keep getting all their fans, like, pictures, and like, it was great to meet you guys. And we're like, we're not Rocket to Anywhere, the band. We're the podcast Rocket to Anywhere. Anyway, show notes for this week's episode, anything we talked about this week, that movie, anything I may have mentioned, rta.space/54. Instead of .com, we're .space. I feel like I have to mention that sometimes. You can follow me on Twitter at Corban Garcia, and Sofia on Instagram at
extra_Sofia. Sofia, not a PH. Please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ethan, do you have any place people you can follow you or keep up with you somehow?
No.
Okay. You'll just
You
hear.
can stalk him in real life.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
No one knows where I live, though.
Or do they?
Giving that away.
Okay, we'll be back week after next with some very special guests. But until then,
Very special.
very special. Very special.
Beautiful.
This rocket has landed.
landed.